In this chapter, a question that had been haunting us was answered rather swiftly. A flashback revealed Sara's desperate visit to Caesar, where she disclosed her pregnancy, claiming he was the father. However, Caesar vehemently denied any involvement and callously drove away, leaving her in a state of panic and distress, fearing the consequences if Rodolfo were to discover the truth. It became clear that even Sara, my sister, harbored secrets that deeply compromised her involvement with this corrupt family, all of which traced back to Caesar's corruption. Meanwhile, Elisa ventured to the hospital to visit Elroy, and when she asked about Flor Sanchez, his reaction was unsettling. He uttered a single word, Sergio, and whispered something in her ear, leaving us in the dark about the true extent of his implications. Elisa returned to me, determined to extract more information. She wanted to know if Sergio knew Sara, and if he was present on the day she died. I confirmed that he was indeed there. It was becoming evident that Elisa had a knack for uncovering information, and together, we made a formidable team. Cesar's disturbing habit of involving himself with his son's romantic interests, without any regard for contraception, continued to be a source of trouble and conflict. It seemed that all the problems in our twisted story somehow led back to him. Cesar's visit to Sofia took an unexpected turn when she revealed that she was pregnant with Rodolfo's child. Cesar's reaction was far from supportive. He berated her and called her worthless for being pregnant. Yet doubts lingered in the air. Was it truly Cesar's child? Rodolfo, on the other hand, confronted his father about the sex trafficking ring, but Cesar skillfully diverted the conversation by congratulating Rodolfo on his impending fatherhood with Sofia. The tension escalated, and Sergio grew increasingly concerned that Rodolfo might have discovered the truth about the women involved. The dysfunctionality of the Lacano family was on full display once more as we gathered at Chima's house. Rodolfo seemed distant and troubled, and Cesar's homophobic remarks and rudeness towards Lorenzo only added to the turmoil. When Rodolfo learned that his father knew about Sofia's pregnancy before he did, it triggered his anger. Though the news eventually turned celebratory, Rodolfo was intoxicated and on the brink of revealing Elisa's recent activities, causing everyone to scramble to keep his secret under wraps. Chema and Lorenzo decided to share their exciting news. They were going to become parents. Cesar couldn't resist his sarcastic wit, firing off a remark about which one of them would be the one to get pregnant. Their response, explaining their plan to use surrogacy, did little to amuse Cesar. Tensions began to simmer, and Mariana weighed in with her religious objections, arguing that it went against God's rules and was a sin. As the atmosphere grew increasingly charged, Cesar's temper flared, and he labeled Chema's choices as twisted. The negativity in the room became overwhelming, leading Chema to make a plea for everyone to leave. Shaken by the harsh response to their news, Cesar, always demanding respect, found himself confronted by Chema, who fearlessly reminded him that respect had never been something he extended to others. Then, the bombshell dropped. Chema unveiled a dark truth. Our father was having an affair with Rodolfo's wife, Sofia, and they had been seen together at the casino. Cesar's reaction was explosive, his anger manifesting physically as he lashed out and punched Chema. Amidst the ensuing chaos, Elisa couldn't help but ponder the paternity of Sofia's baby, whether it was truly Rodolfo's or if it bore a sinister connection to our father. A profound sadness hung over our already troubled family, a stark reminder that there was never a quiet day for the Lascano family. The beginning of episode 9 brought an unexpected potential ally into my life. Sergio, a man who claimed to have known Caesar for 30 long years, believed that eventually Caesar's sins would catch up with him and bring him down, taking others down with him. I couldn't help but wonder about his true intentions as I questioned him. About Flor Sanchez, Sergio denied any knowledge but expressed a desire to see Cesar's world crumble. He claimed to want to join forces with me in this pursuit. It was a proposition fraught with uncertainty, and I couldn't help but feel wary about placing my trust in him. Following the distressing homophobic incident, Lorenzo's perspective underwent a profound transformation. Chema and Lorenzo decided to visit the clinic and await Clara's update. Lorenzo believed that after our child was born, leaving Mexico would be the best course of action. He no longer wanted our child to grow up in the midst of Chema's family, especially after recent events marked by homophobia. When Clara returned from the surgery, she delivered the reassuring news that everything had gone well. In this episode of Who Killed Sara?, Elisa's resilience against her family's dark history wavered. She experienced a harrowing nightmare, in which she witnessed a brutal assault on a woman. Uncertain whether it was a dream or a memory, she confided in me about it. However, my constant phone calls irked her, leading her to question whether I truly trusted her. I reassured her of my trust but expressed concern about her parents discovering our relationship. Chema's parents, driven by their unwavering religious ties and traditional values, couldn't let go of their discomfort surrounding their son's surrogacy journey, leading to yet another uncomfortable scene. Mariana confronted Chema about the grave accusations he had leveled against the family. Clara admitted to having seen Cesar and Sofia sharing a kiss in the bathroom, which infuriated Mariana. Chema attempted to caution his mother, reminding her that Clara was carrying their baby. However, their argument escalated, leaving Chema disheartened and estranged from his unsupportive mother. Meanwhile, Sofia opened up to Cesar, acknowledging that her marriage with Rodolfo was essentially over. However, Cesar remained indifferent to her pleas, though they shared a kiss. When Sofia undressed, Cesar rejected her. It was a stark reminder of how Cesar treated women, discarding them once he believed they no longer held value. The story came full circle in this episode. I had once harbored the desire to see Rodolfo dead at the beginning of Who Killed Sara? But now we found ourselves as unlikely allies, united in our pursuit of justice. Rodolfo confided in me, revealing that Sara's baby couldn't have been his and that Sofia had been having an affair with his father. He wanted to distance himself from Sofia, his father, and the family's corrupt business. He longed for the simpler times when we could laugh together, like in the past. Our alliance grew stronger as we agreed to help each other in our shared mission. I then learned that Nicandro had passed away in London. I messaged Diane the Huntress to inquire if they were aware of this, but they went offline, leaving me with more questions. Elisa and I had our moments of friction, as I grappled with the vendetta against her family that I had meticulously planned for 18 years. I didn't want her to know everything, fearing the implications. However, when our tempers subsided, I confessed to her that what we shared was undeniably real, but I couldn't be forced into a choice. Marifer, Sara's best friend, entered the scene, bearing a tape labeled Flor Sanchez. I posed a crucial question to Elisa. Did she want to uncover the truth about her family? Together, we played the tape, and as its disturbing contents unfolded, the anguished cries of a woman echoed through the room. In true Netflix fashion, the penultimate chapter of this gripping saga leaves us hanging on the edge, ready to plunge into the climax. It was never going to be a simple resolution. In this episode, Álex receives the chilling tape belonging to Flor Sanchez. The final episode takes us on a journey back to Sara's reaction upon receiving the tape, a moment that set in motion a series of events. She reached out to her best friend, Marifer, desperately seeking her help to hide the incriminating evidence. In her diary, she described the contents of the tape as horrific and outlined her plan to reveal the truth to Rodolfo. In the present day, as we delve into these revelations, I couldn't help but remember my own past with Marifer, marked by a sexual history that added a layer of complexity to our interactions. Flashbacks shed light on Elroy's pivotal role in the unfolding drama. He informed Mariana about Sara's pregnancy, leading her to believe that Rodolfo was squandering his future. Elroy craftily hinted that the baby was not Rodolfo's but Cesar's. The flashback continued, depicting a day when Sara, the Lazcano siblings, and I ventured to a holiday home near the lake, with Nicandro joining us. Sara's enthusiasm to use the parachute was met with concern from Rodolfo due to her pregnancy. Meanwhile, Mariana instructed Elroy to keep a close eye on our group's activities at the holiday home. Simultaneously, Sergio's anger simmered as he discovered Sara's presence, but Cesar assured him that she would remain silent. Sara's reaction to seeing Sergio triggered panic, and Nicandro offered her solace with a comforting hug. Back in the present, Álex, Rodolfo, Elisa, and Marifer watched the disturbing video of Flor Sanchez's violent abuse, leaving Marifer bewildered about why Sara possessed such a video. I strongly believed that Flor had been murdered. As we discussed the video, Imara's name surfaced, but we learned that she had met a tragic end. Rodolfo disclosed that his father was operating a sex trafficking ring in the casino's basement, a shocking revelation that sent shivers down our spines. Suddenly, Elisa recalled a chilling childhood memory of walking down into that very basement. In a flashback, Mariana confronted Sara about her pregnancy, offering her support and pledging to stand by her and Rodolfo. Later that day, Mariana handed Elroy a penknife, urging him to do what was necessary, reminding him of the darkness within him, whether he had a direct hand in Sara's demise or not. The key to unraveling this intricate web of secrets seemed to lie with Elroy, but time was running out as we ventured into two graves. Elisa paid a visit to Elroy at the hospital, seeking answers about Imara's death and the torment inflicted upon these women. However, Mariana intervened, interrupting their conversation. Mariana stubbornly clung to her marriage, refusing to let a single mistake shatter her family. Elisa, in turn, accused her of willful blindness to the darkness surrounding her. Diane the Huntress messaged me, inquiring whether I intended to give Flor Sanchez's video to the police. Their message hinted at the potential destruction of Caesar and his empire. Desperation gnawed at me as I yearned to uncover the identity of this enigmatic figure. In a surprising twist, Diane the Huntress was revealed to be Marifer, Sara's best friend. Episode 10 took a detour into the subplot involving Shema and Lorenzo's surrogacy journey, revealing cracks in their seemingly solid relationship. Lorenzo's anger flared when he believed Clara's ex-boyfriend had slashed his tires. He expressed frustration with Chema's family, labeling them as utterly unhinged. Lorenzo's outburst led him to contemplate leaving and reuniting with his accepting family. Chema, however, drew a parallel between Lorenzo's behavior and his father, Cesar, a comparison that only fueled Lorenzo's anger. Sofia attempted to reason with Rodolfo, but he coldly asked her to leave their house. She dropped a bombshell, revealing that he was going to be a father. Flashbacks unveiled the truth. Rodolfo had undergone a vasectomy at the age of 18 after Sara's tragic death. The baby could not be his. It was, in fact, his father's. This revelation shed light on Rodolfo's reluctance to embrace fatherhood. As I accidentally dropped a beer, I stumbled upon a hidden journal in the wall, filled with notes and drawings penned by Sara. Among the haunting sentences were phrases like, "What if I'm crazy like him?" and "I want to die. Help." This discovery hinted at a side of Sara we hadn't known, suggesting that Season 1 had only scratched the surface of her complex character. Elisa confronted her father, Caesar, about the sex trafficking ring concealed beneath the casino. Caesar wondered who had planted this information in her head and questioned whether it was my doing. As she walked away, he accused her of hating the family and betraying them. In a moment of candor, Elisa admitted to being in love with me. Caesar's grip tightened, and Elisa fearlessly confronted him, drawing a chilling parallel between him and Flor Sanchez, questioning the whereabouts of Imara. She branded him a woman killer, and Caesar, for the first time, found himself unable to strike back. Meanwhile, Mariana wore a smug smile as Elroy's life came to an end. Did the darkest secret die with him? In a revealing flashback, Mariana discovered a knife on the boat and communicated with Elroy about taking matters into her own hands regarding the incriminating evidence. In the present day, as I perused Sara's journal, I stumbled upon the haunting words, I want to die. Suddenly, something within the journal triggered a revelation in me. I began digging a hole in my yard, unearthing a skeleton. Elisa arrived, witnessing as I lifted the skull's head. Flashbacks flashed before us, depicting Caesar shooting a woman in the forest. The identity of the woman remained obscured, the finale of Who Killed Sara. Season 1 left us with more questions than answers, but Episode 10 delivered an electrifying and thought-provoking climax. While frustration may loom, the tantalizing material set the stage for an enticing Season 2.